sure a hell of a change, huh?
Meeting without emergency leave.
In this weather. Christ, here it was so nice. And
The light switch. Yeah.
there we go.
My ass is
Sucks.
This guy I met, he's from Alabama. He said, oh, well, we can build this in the winter. I'm like, listen,
at the St. Ray Seniors.
we haven't had a December like this in years. I said, we've had snow, we've had cold, but we haven't had both. And I said,
should dig it now, didn't they?
oh, they start next week.
Yeah.
I said, maybe after the beginning of the year. I said, you gotta be open in March. It's gonna take me three months to get my stuff done. They're not gonna, and the whole site's concrete, so they got, you have to thaw the ground,
Yeah.
blanket it, then blanket, pour the concrete, blanket that. So you're gonna
Yeah, he works for
big squares a week if you're lucky. Yeah, that's after everything's in.
He sets up all the,
So, that whole unit, they did one in the shore over Joliet.
I'll tell him.
They got one of the Murphys. It might not be a Murphy, it's something, they do, it's the same gas station, but these are prefab units. They bring the sewer and water, and then a little bit of plumbing in the crawl space. And
You should have seen the accident. That's I was almost late.
They did a bit.
It's all
Accident,
complete.
yeah, black road.
So they got a,
Traffic sitting.
the guy like next to you doesn't probably have
Everything's all about the police aren't working.
Screws a lot of guy out of some work.
Kendall?
that.
Kendall's tied up for 15 minutes. Almost trying to get through the Yeah.
Okay.
Ready, sir?
All set.
Let's call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Mr. Orlando,
Present?
Mr. Cox,
Here?
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Roosnellis,
Here.
Mr. Walden,
Yeah.
Mr. Strong.
Here.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the first item on the agenda, A716, A816, M216, and Z516, there is a recommendation for a tabling to the January 19th Plan Commission meeting.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Call the roll.
Mr. Cox,
Aye?
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Roosnellis, Mr. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Orlando,
Aye.
Mr. Strong.
Aye. Next item.
Next item on the agenda is V516. That's the vacation of a 5-foot by 132.43 feet portion of a public utility and drainage easement. And that easement is located between 1303 and 1305 Hosmer Street. Applicants in this matter, Brookman Development, LLC. They are also the owners. Requested action, vacation of a portion of a public utility and drainage easement. Purpose is to allow the construction of a single-family house. The existing zoning is R2 and that's single-family residential. Location, 1303 through 1305 Hosmer Street. Again, the size of the proposed vacation is 5 feet by 132.43 feet. Existing land use is undeveloped. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is residential R2. To the south, east, and west, all residential R2 as well. Under site history, in July 2006, Riverdale Recycling received approval of the Rayner Park Homes subdivision, which included 19 buildable single-family lots on the 3-acre site. And this was the former site for Rayner Park School. New house plans proposed by Brookman Development Company were approved for Rayner Park Homes subdivision in July of 2012. Special information, the petitioner currently has a buyer that wants to build a large house with a 3-car attached garage on 2 adjacent lots. The new house, as proposed, would encroach over an existing 5-foot wide public utility and drainage easement. Remaining easements exist in order to service the site. The city's Public Works and Public Utilities departments have responded, and they are not opposed to the vacation request. As of the writing of the staff report, there was no opposition from any of the other affected utility companies to this particular request. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioner on this item, please?
Good afternoon.
State your name for the record, please.
Thomas J. from Brookmere Development, also from Greystone Homes. We're going to be the builders on it, hopefully. What we have is an elderly lady who has come into some money, wants to step up from her Romeoville home to Joliet, and she is expected to be full-time in a wheelchair within about 9 months to a year. That is the purpose for the large home. All the hallways are going to be 4 to 5 feet wide. Doorways are going to be 3 feet. Kitchen had to be expanded to accommodate the wheelchair.
Very good. Any comments or questions from the commission? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, a motion's in order for V-5-16.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Rosanellis?
Aye.
Mr. Walden?
Aye.
Mr. Orlando?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Strong?
Aye.
Good. Thank you for your considerations. Have a good evening.
You too. Next item.
Next item on the agenda is P816 and FP316. That would be the revised preliminary plat for Laraway Road Distribution Center subdivision and a final plat of Laraway Road Distribution Center subdivision Unit 2. The applicant in this matter is Excel Inc., also the owner. Requested action, approval of a preliminary and final plat to allow continued development of an industrial park. The zoning here is I-1 Light Industrial. Location is the northeast corner of Rowell Avenue and Laraway Road. Surrounding land use and zoning: to the north is residential, and that's Will County unincorporated zoning, A2. To the south is racetrack, I-1, light industrial zoning in the city of Joliet. To the east, agricultural, A1, Will County. To the west, industrial, I-1, city of Joliet. The existing land use is industrial. The size of the parcel is 164 plus acres. Under site history, we have a pre-annexation agreement was approved in November 2004, along with a preliminary plat of subdivision. The property was then approved for annexation, zoning, classification to I-1, a revised preliminary plat, and final and recording plats for Unit 1 in August 2006. Excel constructed one 737,000 square foot warehousing and distribution building on Lot 1 in Unit 1 in November of 2007. Under special information, the approval of the revised preliminary plat and final plat for Unit 2 will allow the continued development of the Laraway Distribution Center Industrial Park. The revised preliminary plat contains 4 lots ranging in size from 25 acres to 60 acres. Lot 1 was previously recorded in Unit 1 and includes 36 acres. Lot 2 contains 60 acres and is currently under construction with a 1.5 million square foot warehousing and distribution building. The future trailer parking area on Lot 2 would require a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals in order to be allowed. 3 retention ponds are included on Lot 4, which is 25 acres. The final plat for Unit 2 contains lots 2 through 4. All public improvements will be required as per the subdivision regulations and Public Works and Public Utilities departments. These include the required improvements to Rowell Avenue and Laraway Road, which are currently under construction. A landscaping plan was previously approved as part of the past phase. Development impact fees and sewer and water connection fees are also required, and that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioner on this item, please?
Chairman, members of the commission, Michael Hanson here on behalf of XL DHL, also here with Jacob and Hefner.
Very good. Did you have anything to add, Mr. Hanson?
No, we're recommending approval.
Very good. Any comments or questions from the commission? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, a motion is in order for P-8-16 and FP-3-16.
Motion so moved.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Roosnellis,
Aye.
Mr. Walden,
Aye.
Mr. Orlando,
Aye.
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Strong.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add that that would be a conditional approval based on some remaining public works items.
Very good.
Our next item is PUD 5-16. That is the reapproval of the preliminary planned unit development of Hiller Farm subdivision for an additional 3-year extension. The applicant in this matter is Marquette Companies. They are also the owner and developer. Requested action is reapproval of a preliminary planned unit development plat. Purpose is to develop a mixed-use subdivision. Existing zoning is R1B, and that's single-family residential, R4, multifamily residential, RB, restricted business, and B1, neighborhood business. Location is the northwest corner of Arbiter and Van Dyke. The size of this parcel is 290 acres. Existing land use is undeveloped. Surrounding land use and zoning. To the north is agriculture. That's R1B zoning. To the south, agriculture, A1, and that's Kendall County, unincorporated. To the east is residential, R1B and R4. To the west is agricultural use, although zoned R1B in the city of Joliet. Site history, the proposed annexation agreement, zoning, classification, and preliminary planned unit development was approved by the mayor and city council at their meeting in February of 2008. A 3-year extension of the preliminary planned unit development was approved by the mayor and city council at their meeting in March of 2011 and again in January of 2014. Under special information, the effective extension period of the preliminary planned unit development for Hiller Farm subdivision is ending, and the petitioner wishes to extend it for an additional 3-year period. According to the petitioner, subdivision phases have not been recorded due to housing market conditions affecting the nation as well as the Joliet area. The proposed development and layout will remain the same as was originally approved, which proposed the creation of 490 single-family lots on 256 acres, 126 townhome units on 26 acres, one 2.5-acre restricted business lot, and a 5-acre neighborhood business lot. The proposed uses will remain consistent with the Kendall County Comprehensive Plan, which was approved in November of 2004. As part of the original approval, a set of architectural guidelines were approved with minimum standards for future builders to adhere to, and those will remain in place as well. Additional key elements of the original approval that will not change include the following: 2 6-acre park sites, a $255,837 cash contribution to be donated to the Joliet Park District, landscape berms along Arbiter Road, decorative signage and wrought iron fencing, boulevard entryway with gate houses and traffic circles, wet bottom naturalized storm detention ponds with aerator fountains, and 110 acres of open space devoted to naturalized areas and bike paths. Also, as per the original approval, Finley Road will be abandoned in lieu of the newly proposed internal roadway system. Abandonment will not take place until the new subdivision collector is constructed and new driveways for the adjacent horse farms are installed. All other concessions agreed to by Marquette Company concerning the 2 adjacent horse farms and the farmhouse remain valid. All public improvements will be required as per the subdivision regulations and Public Works and Utilities Departments. Streets within the subdivision will be publicly owned and maintained. Water and sewer connection fees, school donation fees to Manuka and Plainfield, school facility fees, school transition fees, and developer impact fees will also be required for this development. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioner on this item, please?
Good afternoon. My name is John Philipchuk. I'm an attorney representing the Marquette Companies. I'm happy to be here before you in one respect, but in another respect, we wish we would have had our development underway by now. As you are probably aware, the market conditions both in the city of Joliet and across the country have not gotten to the point that they were back in 2008 when we had the initial approval for this development. You're averaging about 140 single-family building permits a year now in Joliet. Currently, there are over 1,900 vacant developed lots in 36 different subdivisions in the city. So based on those numbers and what are coming in today, we have about a 13-year inventory. So we're hoping that things will pick up, but right now we see no valid business reason to go in and move dirt and try to create more lots until we eat up some of this inventory, until the market conditions pick up. We think we have a wonderful development. I think it'll be of great benefit to the city and to the residents that move in there, as Mr. Jackson outlined. But for now, we'd like to keep that preliminary, keep our agreement with the city, and hopefully something will happen before 3 years. But that's our request. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the commission?
I have one question. The parcel of property that you're questioning about, are there any public utilities in ground yet, or
No, sir, we
it's
haven't.
just all farmland yet?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
This is also, is this parcel contingent that there will be horse farms there?
The horse farms are going to continue, and we made accommodations for them. We had extensive meetings with those existing uses, and we're accommodating them. So if they're still there when we get started, we have accommodations for them.
Has the city changed any ordinances that we're allowed to have horses in the city?
No, we haven't changed any ordinances. However, with certain properties, if they were subject to an annexation agreement, if they had certain uses that were already there, those will be allowed to continue.
Are these going to be grandfathered in then?
They're not annexed yet.
Oh, these are not in the city?
They're not
Okay.
annexed
Oh, they're
yet.
not exit,
No,
okay.
no. Now, you could forcibly annex them if you chose to, but they're not annexed.
So passing this would have nothing to do with having, because I'm against having horses in the city You know.
Doesn't bring the horses in the city by doing this, no.
on this?
No.
Okay.
I think if you look, the horse property's carved out,
Yes, sir.
right? Of
Yes,
the
that's correct.
beauty, right? Right.
Yeah, if you can look at your screen, you'll see that box in the middle, that rectangle, that's the big horse
It
farm.
looks like the horse farm's right in the middle of the project.
It is.
It is.
Well,
This has been approved 2 other times.
that- How about the new people that moving in? You think they'll,
Some of them will like
Are
it,
they
some
gonna
of
be
them may
aware?
not, but obviously it's there and they'll know about it, so.
they're going to be aware of it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Any other comments or questions from the commission? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, a motion's in order for PUD-5-16.
So moved.
Call the roll.
Mr. Walden?
No.
Mr. Orlando?
No.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Roosevelt?
Aye.
Mr. Strong?
Aye.
4 and 2.
Okay. Okay,
That's it.
that's it. I believe that concludes our agenda. So a motion is in order for adjournment.
Approval of the minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion is in order for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 No adjourned.
Okay, now adjournment.
how to find the